Ducky, and welcome to the first month in my new sketchbook journal thing. If you're new here, I did the Daily Doodle Challenge last year, which was a full page every day, and while it was really fun, I decided to change over to this weekly spread. So I have a small section for each day, and it's going to be a little bit more journaly than it is art, but there is going to be some art involved, and I can't wait to get into it. And I've been really enjoying it. So here's how my first month went.
So the way I've been approaching my journal this year is doing the sketch on the day or the day after. Sometimes I do a couple of days at the same time, and then at the end of the week, on the Sunday or the next Monday, I then ink in everything for the week. I find that that's really a lot more sustainable for me than the daily doodle diary was, and I feel like this is more keeping the memories, the little memories of everything. This first week was really difficult for me. It did start on the 29th of December, so there are a couple of days that aren't in this month, but I started playing Dying Light with my friend, then I got ill and I had to stop playing, and over the next couple of days I just got really ill. I had a migraine for 4 days, and this kind of explains that. I also had a cold on top of that. Yeah, I found out that Coke helps with migraines, which I didn't know, and we'd had it in the house the entire time. Zero caffeine Coke, because I cannot have caffeine. It makes me really ill. But I always thought the Coke being the cure, well, obviously not a cure, but like helping with migraines was because of the caffeine, so I never tried it. But no, apparently it works when it's caffeine free too. So I got back to playing Dying Light with my friend again, and this was right at the beginning of playing Dying Light 2, which is such a fun game. I'm really enjoying it. And then the next day I had a stomach issues, and I think that over Christmas I had stopped being quite so careful about cross-contamination with my gluten, and I'd started using the air fryer in the household, which, if you know anything about gluten and cross-contamination, is that you don't use an air fryer that's had gluten in it. It's gonna make you ill, and shock horror, it made me ill. But yeah, that's the first week. It was just awful. I was ill the entire time. So week 2, I was still ill at the beginning, but I was able to play some games. So on the Tuesday I managed to play some Dying Light with my friend again, and then in the evening me and my partner started season 2 of Fallout, which is amazing. I love the Fallout TV series. And then on the Wednesday I pushed through and I filmed the entirety of my daily doodle tour, and my throat was killing me. I do not recommend doing that when you are ill. And again, the next day, Dying Light again. I literally could do nothing other than bed rot at this point. I was so ill. And then my friend needed some Twitch emotes, and I decided to have a go at digital art. It's not anything I've ever done, and I think they're going to go with one of their moderators who knows a bit more about digital art, which is fine. Theirs were clearly better than mine because it was the first time I'd ever done digital art, but I started really enjoying that. And then the next day I spent the entire day dissociated and just not really knowing what's going on. And I managed to do some editing in the evening, and then the next day I managed to do a little bit more editing. And by this point I was feeling loads better, so we went to the cinema and watched Primate because I thought I was better. And again, the next day we went back to the gym and I thought I was better. And I felt completely fine on those days. I didn't really have a cough or anything. And then on to the next week, and I did a massive filming day. I was exhausted. I filmed an entire episode of How Much Art Can You Make, and that shattered me. But again, I was still feeling really well. And then the next day I spent the entire day procrastinating, but I finally stretched my ears, which was part of my procrastinating, but oh well, I've wanted to stretch my ears since I was 13, so we're working on that one. I'm currently at 1.6 millimeters. And I will be going up in half sizes so that I do this the best way possible and don't cause a blowout or anything. Luckily I have really stretchy skin, so I've not really had an issue. The only issue I did have is that I had my ears pierced when I was 6 years old, so I can go an entire year without wearing earrings if I want to, and my ears won't close up. So I wasn't wearing my earrings every day before I tried stretching my ears. And nowhere does it say that you need to be wearing earrings to keep your ears, and I've done a lot of research, you need to be wearing earrings at least for a couple days to just start the stretching process a little bit, because having your earrings in will, loosen up the earlobe a little. But all the guides to stretching ears kind of assume that you wear earrings every day because otherwise your holes will close up. So I had to do that for about a week before I was able to get my stretchers in, and I will be doing the 3 months in between each stage, so it's going to take a while to get to any kind of size, and I don't want to go massive. My partner is worried that I'm going to go massive because he used to stretch his ears. He had a massive blowout and now he refuses to stretch his ears, and he's worried that I'm going to take it too far because he knows what people with stretching ears are like, and they always say that they're not going to stretch it big and then they get the bug and they just keep stretching and stretching and stretching. But I don't think massive stretched ears would look good on me, so I'm going to try my best. The next day I got back into doing some collaging. I've had a half done collage for months and I started getting back into that, but I ended up having 4 seizures that day, and that's not normal for me. So I ended up having to stop that, and I probably should have realised that there was there must have been some reason for me having those seizures. But at that point, there didn't seem to be any reason. I felt loads better than I had from being ill, so I was really confused. So the next day, I got some goodies in the post. I have now got a drawing tablet, which is really, really fun, a Wacom. I can't remember which one it is, but it's a pretty good one. It was expensive, but it's an investment. I keep trying to tell myself that. And then I also got some stickers and prints in the mail from Ashley Monet, which I love her art, so that was really exciting. In the evening I went to this kind of gathering of kind of like spiritual people did some meditation and things like that, and it was so lovely. But I started coughing really badly during it, and I thought it was the incense making my throat, hurt, irritating my throat, so I didn't think much of it. We got into the car afterwards and my cough got worse. We got home, my cough got worse, and the next day I was super ill again, bed bound, and that's probably why I had the seizures, because my body was trying to fight an infection. The next day I went to the out of hours doctors on the Saturday, and they prescribed me some antibiotics because they had a look at my throat. They couldn't see my throat properly because I have a tongue tie, but they said that they think I've got laryngitis or strep throat, or possibly even tonsillitis. They listened to my chest, they don't think I have a chest infection. So I got put on antibiotics, and that should get rid of it. And I'm saying this like 2 weeks in the future. They have really helped. My cough is nearly completely gone. I am feeling those better. I have less than a day's worth left of antibiotics left, so we should be good. I am so excited to be off antibiotics. And yeah, the next day I just felt really ill and didn't want to do anything. So, on to the penultimate week. I spent the first 2 days just kind of bed rotting and doing digital art and not really doing anything else. At this point, my chest and throat and cough and all that were getting better, but I am chronically ill, so being ill then makes my physical health worse. So I was dealing with a lot of my physical health symptoms and just exhaustion. So I really didn't do anything for those 2 days. And then we got the first and second Silent Hill film in physical form for our collection because we'd never seen them before, and we wanted to see the new Silent Hill film. I didn't realise that the new Silent Hill film wasn't actually going to be connected to the first two, so I didn't necessarily have to watch them, but I'm so glad that I did because I think I found some new favourite films. So yeah, I didn't do much for those days either, other than watch that in the evening and just do some art and stuff in the daytime. So that's what I put on here. And then the next day we went to see 28 Years Later, the Bone Temple, which was amazing. I love the 28 Days Later franchise. We were meant to see that on the Saturday before, but obviously I was very ill. By this point I didn't have a cough, so I felt safe enough to go outside and not be infecting people. And then the next day we went and saw the new Silent Hill film in the cinema, and it wasn't as good as the other ones, but that probably is partially because I watched them so close together. I did enjoy it, but yeah, it wasn't as good as the other ones in my opinion. But I ended up having 2 seizures in the cinema, and I think after the film, and I think that's just a combination of recovering from being ill and there was quite a bit of flashing in the film, which sometimes affects me, sometimes it doesn't. I did have to cover my eyes at one point because it was just too much flashing, so that's just annoying. And then the next day I just didn't really do anything. I was recovering from 2 seizures, so I was dead to the world. I mainly just edited videos, but I did manage to break my laptop charger, which is great. I love that, so I've had to order some more. Luckily it's just a cable that broke, but it's really annoying. It was the only long USB-C to USB-C cable we had in the house. And then for like the last 3 weeks I've forgotten to do the daily little doodle in the beginning, so I filled all those in. However, I set up everything, my lights, my camera, and I forgot to press film, so here it is. Here are the ones what I did. But yeah, that was that week. Okay, and on to the last week of the month. The first day I had an appointment with the F&D specialists, which was really good. But it was up in Bristol, so we had to obviously stop somewhere for lunch, and I had a seafood linguine. I mean, it was actually penne because I'm gluten free, so you know, it's always penne, but it was really good. The fish was cooked perfectly. The next day I was doing some digital art. I was helping make some membership icons for my partner because they've reached that level on YouTube, so that's fun. And once we have a house, we're hoping to be able to both stream on Twitch. The next day I spent pretty much all day doing my Valentine's collage, and the next day after that also doing all my Valentine's collage. I am obsessed with how it's come out, so you have to wait till next Monday to see that, but that's really fun. It's probably one of the most intricate collages I've done, but also one of the quickest. I don't really know how that works, but clearly I'm getting better. And then we get on to Friday, and I spent a lot of the end of the week very dissociated. The state of the world has completely ruined my mental state and my faith in humanity. I saw some things from the Epstein files that have scarred me, and I'm trying to keep away from those now. On the Saturday we watched Iron Lung, which was really fun. Amazing movie given that it was directed, produced, funded, and nearly entirely acted just by Markiplier, a YouTuber. Admittedly, I have no idea about Markiplier's YouTube. I've never watched him, but the film is really cool. I definitely say give it a watch. It's not going to be the most amazing film you've ever watched. Like I said, it has several constraints. However, it is beautiful, it is confusing, and really quite cool. Yeah, Sunday was another day just lost to dissociation. Yeah, dissociation is really kicking my ass at the moment, so I'm really surprised I'm keeping up with my videos. So that's the first month done in this book. See, last year I was doing Daily Doodle Diary, which was a full page for every day other than the weekend, which was half a page each day. I'm really enjoying this format that I'm doing. It feels so much more manageable, and I'm actually keeping on top of it really well. I don't know if I've said yet in this video, but kind of the way I'm working it is I pencil in on the day or the day after, and sometimes the day after that, depending on how my health is doing, my mental health, and how busy I am. Then at the end of the week I've been inking it all in, and that's really fun, and it's led to some really cool compositions where I'm really liking overlapping bits from different days. I think it makes it look more cohesive and more, yeah, I don't know. I'm just really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying the fonts. I've been having a lot of fun finding different fonts to use. So here's the final result. Here's a little flip through from all the different weeks. I really enjoyed it.
So that's the first month in this journal. I'm really enjoying it. Let me know which bit was your favourite, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye!